Hello everyone, I'm back. But before we are going to talk about Warhammer, I have to tell you, sorry, probably there will be noises, because my neighbor started to drink, and now he is fighting with his armchair. So before any further ado, let's board this Petrol box! Today we are going to talk about the new option Boarding Petrol box set. This one cut in line before the Death Watch, because this one is a limited box set. This box set made exclusively for boarding action gameplay, but it's also good to start a Space Marine army. Okay, let's check out this box set. Price: $110 or €85 or £65. Value inside: €136.50. It's a great deal. You save around €51.50, around 40% points. It is around 390 or 425 points, depending on if you take a captain or a chapter master. What's inside the kit? The kits include the following: 1 captain in Gravis armor, 5 heavy intercessors, and 1 10-man squad of assault intercessors, which you can build into 2 5-man squad, so basically 10 assault intercessors. This set is the first where you can get by discounted price the captain in Gravis armor, the heavy intercessors, and the assault intercessors. Although there is another box set where you can get the heavy intercessors in the Imperial Fist battle force, but then you get many things that is for only Imperial Fists. So if you don't want Imperial Fists, this one is the box where you can get them discounted. Although you're also able to get the Assault Intercessors cheaper in the starter kits like the Recruit and the Elite Edition, but they are the easy to build kits and they do not have the special weapon options like the Power Fist, Power Sword, Thunder Hammer, while this kit has it. Okay, let's check out the HQ first. Captain in Gravis armor. 1 model and it's 105 points. Or 140 points if you bring him as a chapter master. First of all, let's check out the model and its stats, and after that I will tell you about the chapter master upgrade. This option is somewhat tankier and fightier as the normal captain, although a little bit slower. Movement of 5. Let's check out why is he tankier. Because he is toughness 5 and he has 7 wounds. He has a 3+ save and a 4+ invulnerable save, which is really solid. He has a weapon that you cannot change. It's called Boltstorm Gauntlet, which is basically a power fist mixed with a bolt pistol, but has 3 shots and a little bit better range than the normal bolt pistol. He also has a weapon that you are able to choose, and it unlocks one of the 3 different fighting styles. First of all, Chainsword. If you pick this weapon, you get 3 additional attack with a lower armor penetration. You are also able to choose the Power Sword, then you can get 2 additional attack with a better strength and a better armor penetration than the Chainsword, although they are still damage 1. Or you can choose the Power Fist, then basically you get 1 additional attack because the Power Fist and the Boltstorm Gauntlet's melee profile is the same. I would recommend you the Chainsword or the Power Sword if you don't want to upgrade it. What do I mean on upgrading? If you pick a relic like the Teeth of Terra or a special Power Sword or a special Power Fist, then you do not get the additional 3, 2 or 1 attack. There was a debate, but it get confirmed. If you upgrade it into special issue war gear, like Mastercrafted Chainsword, Mastercrafted Power Sword, or things like that, then they are still relics, so you don't get the fighting style benefit. Although there is a loophole, you can upgrade the Boltstorm Gauntlet, but not the other weapon, and you still get the fighting style ability. As I mentioned, he is also a captain, so nearby core units, within 6, gave the ability to reroll hit rolls of 1. And here's the Chapter Master upgrade. The Chapter Master is the highest ranking captain who is captain of the whole chapter. If you bring him as Chapter Master, you can pick a core or a character unit within 6. Yes, in this case, he can pick himself to reroll all hit rolls, which is great. Heavy Intercessors. 5 models, 115 points. They are really similar to their Intercessor brethren, although they are a little bit slower, but nothing significant. They have more wounds, they have more toughness, and they have better weapons. In better weapons, I mean they have better weapon strength and better range. But also, in every 5 men, they can have a heavy weapon option. The heavy weapon option is tied with their main weapon options. Let's check out what they can do. Just like at the Intercessors, you are also able to choose between 3 different types of weapons. Every model in this unit has a bolt pistol. They also have frag and crack grenades like all the other Space Marine troop units. Let's check out the different weapon options. First one, the Executor Bolt Rifle. This is the main weapon option. It has a really great range, 42, and it is heavy 1. So if you move, you hit worse. It is similar to the Stalker Pattern Bolter, but it has better strength, so strength 5, armor penetration of 2, and damage 2. The heavy option for this, the Executor Heavy Bolter, so 2 shots. It is almost the same, but it has damage 3. The other option, Heavy Bolt Rifle. It has a range of 36, which is also great. It has Rapid Fire 1, so if you are standing still, or you are within half range, you can shoot it twice, not just once. It has a strength of 5, 1 points of armor penetration, and damage 1, so mostly great against 1 wound infantry. Its heavy option is the Heavy Bolter. Range is the same, 36. It is heavy 3, so 3 shots, but if you are moving, you're hitting worse. It has a strength of 5, 1 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. It's okay, it's really good, but I like the Heavy Bolter because if you are picking a Heavy Bolter, you also have this great stratagem called Hellfire Shell, when you can only have to make 1 hit roll, but if you are hitting the target, you deal mortal wounds, D3. It is really great to chip the last 1 or 2 wounds from a tank or something really heavy, like a big monster. Okay, the last one. Hellstorm Bolt Rifle. It has a range of 30. It's Assault 3, which means you can shoot it even after running. But if you shoot it after running, you hit a little bit worse. It has 3 shots, strength 5, and damage 1, no armor penetration. Its heavy weapon, called Hellstorm Heavy Bolter, which has a range of 30, heavy 4, strength of 5, 0 armor penetration, and damage 2. With this kit, you have the most amount of shooting, but the least amount of armor penetration. It's not bad, but it's mostly only great against enemies that do not have much armor, like orcs. I just reread the stratagem, and now currently also applies to the Executor Heavy Bolter and the Hellstorm Heavy Bolter as well. So as long as you have a heavy option in your team, you can use the Hellfire Shell stratagem. Honestly, I can't tell you which one is the best, because every one of these is good, but for different targets. Probably I would use one of the first 2 options, the Executor Heavy Bolt Rifle or the Heavy Bolt Rifle. But depending on what you choose, you can kit out for 2 different kind of jobs. First one, standing in your back lane and laying down heavy firepower from a good range, so probably not many things can reach them. The other option is the slowly moving but somewhat tough unit that laying out an incredible amount of bolt fire to your enemies. As you can see it at the point cost, this unit costs a little bit more than your average troop units, but they are much more survivable, so I think the cost is justified. Although they have one big disadvantage, there are not many things that can transport them currently. Only the Repulsor and the Repulsor Executioner. But these tanks are repulsive. Although, the Repulsor Executioner is only a real option if you lost at least 2 guys from the unit. And you really don't want to transport these guys, because while they are transported, they are not laying out the bolt fire. Assault Intercessors. 10 models and 170 points. They have a similar stat line to the Intercessors and all the basic troop units of the Space Marines, so nothing much to rave about. But their weaponry and some of the stratagems that makes them really great. First of all, the basic of the unit. Every model in this unit have a heavy bolt pistol, which is a normal bolt pistol, but with better range and 1 point of armor penetration. The other weapon option that they have is called Astartes Chainsword, that has 1 point of armor penetration and gives the user 1 additional attack with this weapon, but this attack has to be with this weapon. So you can fist your enemies, but 1 attack has to be with this weapon. When you're attacking with this on a charge, with only one of the guys has 4 attack. Imagine how many times a full unit attacks, even before you gave them a buff. Well, they are like a landmower. You can bring these guys in 2 5-man squad or 1 10-man squad. If you just started playing, and this is your first box set, I would recommend you to build 2 5-man squads, because then you have a valid Arks of Omen detachment. 3 troops and 1 hero. This unit is probably the best troop option for melee-based chapters like Space Wolves, Blood Angels, or White Scars. If you build a 10-man squad, you have 1 option for sergeant. If you build 2 5-man squad, you have 2 options for sergeants. To the sergeants, you can give different weapon options. Instead of the heavy bolt pistol, you can give them a plasma pistol, which is a pistol with shorter range, but better strength and better armor penetration, damage of 1. Or you're also able to overload this pistol, which makes them really great strength of 8, 3 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. But if you roll a hit roll of 1, you overload this weapon, blows up and kills your sergeant. So I would only recommend the overloading when you are near to your captain, to reroll the hit roll of 1. There is also an option for a hand flamer, which has shorter range of 12, and it has D6 shots, so shots between 1 and 6. These shots are automatically hitting the target, but they have lower weapon strength, so they are only good against smaller targets like humans, Eldars, or anything that is smaller than a Space Marine. You are also able to change the Astartes Chainsword. you can change it to a power fist, a power sword, or a thunder hammer. The Astartes Chainsword is strength 4, 1 points of armor penetration, 1 damage, but you have an additional attack. While the power sword gives you better strength, so you are wounding the targets easier. It has 3 points of armor penetration and damage 1. So it's mostly good against highly armored but not too tough enemies. And there is the heavy melee weapon options. Power fist. It gives you immersed strength, strength 8, 3 points of armor penetration and damage 2. But because it's a heavy melee weapon, unwieldy, you have to subtract 1 from your hit rolls. So in this case, you are only hitting on 4s, not 3s. And the other heavy melee weapon option, Thunder Hammer, it also gives you strength 8, strength times 2. It has 2 points of armor penetration, but damage 3. You also have to subtract 1 from the hit rolls made with this weapon. The main difference between the Power Fist and the Thunder Hammer. While the Power Fist gives you only damage 2, it has better armor penetration, versus the Thunder Hammer's lower armor penetration of 2, with damage 3, so better damage. In most cases, I would say the Thunder Hammer is better, because many unit has some kind of effect to reduce the damage that they take by 1. So Power Fist become damage 1, but with Thunder Hammer, if they reduce the damage by 1, you still do damage 2, so you can one-shot Plague Marines, or two-shot Eldar Wraiths, or things like that. So you can still cause real damage. You should choose whichever you like. However, I usually choose between the Astartes Chainsword, the Power Sword, or Thunder Hammer. But the most important thing about this unit, you have this stratagem called Honor the Chapter, which means this unit can fight a second time, but only at the end of the fight phase. I mean, this is still great, because there's two options. Fighting against something that you couldn't kill on the first go, and you want to finish the job, or you consolidated into an enemy unit. This is okay, but you're gonna get hit back first before you can fight again. While this is a great stratagem, be careful what is going to hit you back before you can fight again. I've seen many people overextend this stratagem, pile into something, but that killed 7 of these guys. So only 3 could fight again, which can still be enough, but you don't want to throw away 5 or 7 of these guys. Overall score. I would give this box set an 8 out of 10. This box has no real significant weakness, but if you want some heavy weapons or fast units or something like that, you still have some money left from a price of a combat patrol. I'm not saying this box set is a must, but I think this box set is a really great starting point for melee armies. This box set is good for every chapter, although its biggest weakness probably is the Gravis captain. On paper he seems awesome, nothing significant, but 1 inch is 1 inch. If you have a good way to deliver him, or you're using him defensively, like buffing a big shooting blob or things like that, I think he's awesome. On paper seems good, but maybe a little bit slow. Thank you for watching. If you like what I do, please give me a like, subscribe, or both, and hit the little bell. If you don't hit the little bell, well, I will probably upload a video on every Tuesday, for now. If you don't like what you heard, but you still listen to the end, well, thank you. Bye and see you in the next one.